find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, it's Week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. 2 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
This defense for the Broncos, much improved from Week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll go out of bounds, it appears, right at the 45.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick 6. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They overloaded that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones.
And taken down just shy of the 40.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out. And they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 39, Rodgers. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Michael Ojemudia. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside, but he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And job 1 here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. 23 yards on the play.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Caden. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Down the numbers. There he goes. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Exactly the way that they drew it up, partner, but certainly not going to And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. After the interception, here's Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Nothing the score after 1 on EA Sports. With some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Here's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And now the rookie's free. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Packers. What a sensational punt return, 98 yards. And the Packers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Come on.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving into more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. This time Wilson will throw. Sliding out of the pocket.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Rasul Douglas picks it. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
To the 27-yard line.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers.
Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
Ryan Santoso on now to try the field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt.
Up and good for Santoso.
And that will knot us up at 10.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
From the 31, Wilson.
Screen play set up for Williams.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
The Broncos at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
The first thing that crosses my mind is certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Wilson.
That's complete. It's Okuwebunam.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 42. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 29-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
0-0.
On first down, Wilson. They're looking for Jeudy, but it's intercepted. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown.
Well, in a tight game like this, that could be an incredibly important pick six, CD. And remember, it cancels out the one that the opposition had earlier in this ball game.
You're right about that, partner, because each side came up with plays to swing the momentum their way. Still plenty of time left for either team to come through with a win, though. Can someone else make a similar play and win it for their club?
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
This pass caught by Hamler. Quinn Miners, 3rd-round pick in 2021, called for the penalty.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? From the shotgun, Wilson.
Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
Now it's Rodgers. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want, because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. A 46-yard punt, 8 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Well, Charles, you know, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. He's got a man complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the 3rd quarter?
Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
Throwing again on second down. Wilson. And now here is another interception. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
As they started that drive, I think they looked at the scoreboard and said, this is a manageable deficit, guys, but let's go ahead and start cutting it down right here. Instead, an interception happened, so a 2-possession game might become 3. So as we get going here in the second half, this could rapidly reach the point where they're...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Pressure gets to him again. Baron Browning, he's the one that drops him this go-around. And that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Quay Walker. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight?
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here we go with Williams. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They go play action now. Wilson. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
A gain of 3, second down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
On third down, Wilson.
Swings this out here for Cohen.
And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here we go on fourth down. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on fourth. Here's first and 10.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a first down carry by Jones.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 50 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. On play action, Rodgers. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. 38 yards.
And the Packers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point up and good from Santoso.
And that'll increase their lead to 28.
After the touchdown on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and 3rd and 8 now.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. And they'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. Now it's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown, Broncos!
Jerry Jeudy,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
66 yards on the ground for him so far.
The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And this will be a Packers 1st down as the tackle made here at the 36. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. The offense on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Rodgers. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Up the middle, Jones. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Up and good for Santoso. A lot of people talk about how difficult it is to play in the high air here in Denver, but one group of folks who most definitely don't mind that, kickers, and that one, CD, a career long.
You're exactly right about that, Brandon, because they envy guys like Matt Prater, Brandon McManus, who have spent their careers here. They get to spend a bulk of their time kicking at altitude, and they absolutely love it. So when you get a chance to visit and do it yourself, you feel great about that opportunity.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to...
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Alberto, 62 yards.
And the Broncos are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Wilson going to throw for it. He's got it at the 2. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down. Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for the Packers, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.